You're watching the UNC Players Show on Fan Media Network. I welcome back George Lynch, starter on the 1993 National Championship team at North Carolina and longtime NBA player. I'm Matt Doherty, starter on the 1982 National Championship team and former head coach of the Tar Heels. Welcome back, George.
Glad to have you. Glad to be back.
George, we're going to talk about the loss at UVA, 60-48, after scoring 90-plus points against Duke, and then having a game postponed because of COVID against Miami. We had a week off in preparation for this game. But anytime you play UVA, it's like going to the dentist for a root canal. It's a hard grind.
Yeah, it's been that way for years. Even I could think back in the 90s when I played there. It was always tough to get points there, but you would always have to grind it out. And, you knew it was going to be a slugfest and somehow try and come out on top.
Yeah. It's a tough matchup because UVA has size and they made it tough inside. Brooks and Baycott were combined 5 of 14 for only 12 points. So against UVA, they have Huff and Hauser. Huff, 7 foot tall, long, really did a good job inside, blocked 4 shots. And both he and Hauser can step out and negate our interior defense and really open up the floor. What did you see in this game, and what corrections do we need to make?
We've touched on it several games on the show before. Anytime you have a 4-man that can step out, it makes it tough. Watching Brooks come off the screens, try and guard the 3-point shooter, which he's not comfortable in doing, it puts us at a challenge. He just didn't look comfortable coming off and turning around screens, coming up the down screens, challenging the 3-point shot.
Yeah, they do. They do a great job. They were 10 of 22 from the 3-point line for 45%. To me, that was the main difference. Tony Bennett's teams, they do a great job on dribble penetration, and our bigs have to help. And then their 4 or 5 men, Huff and Hauser in particular, release to the 3-point line. So the perimeter player for UVA stops, kind of reverse pivots and pitches back to the big, who now is 20 feet, 18 feet away from his man. So it's a tough closeout, and they're such good shooters. They made us pay. They got up to a 21-4 start, which really took the wind out of our sails, and it looked like we didn't play with great emotion after that initial start.
Yeah, playing on the road in the ACC, senior leadership and upperclassmen is key. And for some reason, we're missing that this year. I thought Brooks and Leak would be able to take that next step and be leaders. Not just with point-wise, just preparation, being prepared, ready to play. And neither one of them looked ready to play, last night.
Yeah. We got back into the game in the first half and we started feeding the post. There were so many times in secondary break where we did not throw it in. And I think the best offense against UVA for us is to throw it in and expect the double team and now pass out of the double team and attack on the weak side. We tried to do that a couple times. Our passes weren't very good. They weren't on point. I don't think we're a very good passing team. But several times Walton did not pass the ball inside on the initial break. And I think that probably led to some of the frustration that Brooks and Baycott felt.
They were getting double teamed. It looked like the double team was coming from behind. And, like you said, they didn't use that retreat dribble, 1 or 2 dribbles to create that space to give them a passing lane, and every pass looked like it was being deflected.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the credit to the length that UVA has with Huff, especially. We didn't have anybody in double figures. Nobody scored in double figures. We didn't make outside shots. We didn't pass the ball well. We only had 6 fast break points. UVA, when they have a chance to get offensive rebounds, they did a good job of either rebounding or tipping it out, which we're good at. We didn't have a real advantage on the offensive boards. And that made it for a real long night. Love, who came off a career game against Duke, only had 4 points. Their defense really starts on offense with UVA because they're patient, they take good shots, and if they don't have a chance for a rebound, an offensive rebound, they send everybody back. So you're never really out in transition unless you get.
Yeah, they did a good job. You can tell that they were well coached. They knew exactly what shot they were going to take. They didn't let our defense predict, when they were going to get a shot. Everything was within the flow of the offense. And like you said, your offense is your best defense sometimes with a team against like ours who like to get out and run and get easy points. They took all that away from us.
This is the 7th win in a row that UVA's had against UNC. I mean, even when they were really good in the 80s with Ralph Sampson, 3-time National Player of the Year, who played 4 years, that never was the case with us. What do you see as the main difference with UVA basketball and Carolina basketball at this time?
I think you have to give Tony Bennett and his staff a lot of credit. The other thing, he has upperclassmen. Guys are sticking around for 4 years, learning the system, playing in big games, and he's raised the bar at Virginia. They no longer look at Carolina and Duke being the top of the ACC. They look at themselves as being the big dog, and we have to get back to that.
Yeah. He's done a great job of recruiting to that university players that fit the university and fit his style of play. And when he first got there, it was not sexy at all because they didn't score a lot of points. They played that pack line defense. They struggled, but then they embraced it and they started to win. And to his credit, they lost to a number 16 seed when they were number 1 seed against UMBC, and a year later they win a national championship. That's a direct reflection of his leadership.
Yes, he's done a brilliant job. For the ACC, for him to be at the top, in the top 3 the last 4 or 5 years, that's a testament to his resilient coaching staff and them guys sticking with it and believing in the kids that they recruit.
Yeah. They don't recruit the McDonald's All-Americans, but they've got players that are really, really good. And like you said, program players that generally stick around for 4 years with few exceptions. Now, we're here February 14th. We are 0-6 against quad 1 teams, which is the big metric that the NCAA looks at. This was an opportunity to get a quad 1 win. We only have one quad 1 team on our schedule left, and that's Florida State. Currently, Joe Lunardi, who's the NCAA selection guru, has Carolina as a 10th seed. How do we make up ground and solidify our position in the NCAA, try to improve our seeding?
Closer, it's the end of the regular season. You got 4 games left, maybe. our senior leadership has to step up and be more involved, more vocal, play with a little bit more emotion to get the other guys to fall in line. I think, when we have to think too much, especially with the young guys, it doesn't play to our advantage. And for us to, have a good showing these next few games, including with Florida State, trying to get that win, we have to play better. We have to be more consistent. I think the NCAA will look at us if we're consistent, these next 4 games, they will give us a nod.
Yeah, we were supposed to play Virginia Tech on Tuesday, but that game's postponed because of COVID. Then we have Louisville on Saturday at home at Boston College, Florida State at home at Syracuse. It's a real challenge for the league with scheduling. What games can they make up before the ACC tournament? Or maybe they don't play the ACC tournament and they try to make up some of these regular season games to help more teams get into the tournament, because right now our league is kind of weak. You have the Big 10, you have the Big 12, and we're not in real strong position as a league to get a lot of teams in the tournament.
Yeah, we haven't shown well. I think the league is better than it's been showing. Going into tournament play, I think we will perform like teams in the past of the ACC. Maybe you do cancel the ACC tournament and let teams finish out the regular season and just, try and choose the best teams out of that. Like I said, anything can happen going into the ACC tournament. Somebody can catch COVID and one of the games could be canceled. A lot of times, winning the ACC tournament really doesn't tell you what an ACC team is like. It's just, an extra 4 games that somebody gets to play. Usually the regular season champion in the ACC is usually the stronger team.
Yeah, I agree with that, because we won the ACC regular season more often than we won the ACC tournament. 3 games in 3 days,
Exactly.
4 days. What years did you finish first in the ACC and not win the ACC tournament?
My senior year, the year we won it all. We had a strong. We might have won the regular ACC regular season by 2 or 3 games, and we lost it to Georgia Tech in the finals, who probably finished, towards the bottom of the ACC.
Who was their best player?
That year they had Travis Best, James Forrest, and Barry.
Yeah. And you're starting 5.
They had a good team.
Yeah. And you're starting 5 again?
Myself, Derek Phelps did not play that game because he got hurt against Virginia. So it was Rodel, myself, Donald Williams, Brian Reese, and Montrose.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the excitement of the ACC tournament. Well, hopefully we'll gain some momentum. It's been frustrating. It's been up and down and up and down and up and down, down, up. And that's what happens when you have young guards and Caleb Love trying to be a point guard in a system when he came in more as a scoring point. Well, George, thank you for your time today. You've been watching the UNC Players Show on Fan Media Network.
To host a player show or appear as a player on a player show, simply create a profile on Fan Media's iOS app or website. Select your teams and make a short intro video on your phone. Show hosts, reporters, former players, and superfans can use our Get Verified feature and make an intro video as well, and our mobile newsroom staff will reach out.